Since when did you start car audio? In 1994, 95? If you started since 1994, that's 26, 27 years. You started car audio since then? You look so very young though. If you've done audio for so long, in my experience, if people do audio for very long, their personality changes a little. It changed a lot. I used to be very hasty and stuff. But now I'm more calm, more relaxed. You used to be hasty, but now you've relaxed. I see. Before you used to hurry a lot? Yeah, a lot. If I started something, I had to finish it. I'm guessing you became more sensitive and much more detail-oriented as well. It's the same with tinting. You used to do audio for a long while, and now you're doing tinting. When did you start that? Around 3 years ago? 3 years ago? The reason I started was when a new car came to our shop. They went to a tinting shop, a dash cam shop, an audio shop. But the clients would have to go through all of these places. Oh, so when a customer came, they would go from a audio to a tinting shop, and from there to another shop, and that kind of uncomfortableness had to repeat. But when we have to do the audio system, we have to remove a lot of the parts of the car. Oh, so I thought, why not do it together? That's what I thought. Right, because when we're installing tinting windows, we have to remove a lot of parts of the car. So, and even if you're really good at installing windows, if you're not good at removing the parts, there might be a lot of accidents happen that break the parts. So that could create a lot of damage to the car. So, since that's easy, so you thought, why not do both? So for the 3 years, you've used different brands and mastered them. It was difficult, but you have mastered all the skills from scratch. Those 3 years must have been very difficult. You had many different levels that you had to upgrade yourself in a short amount of time, so that must have been really difficult. And you've tried all of the different kinds of brands that are in Korea. And if you think about it, you experienced all of them and you came to Glasstint. Premium. So, and you became a premium master. What is premium master? A premium master is an exclusive shop that deals with all of Glasstint's products and films. You've created an exclusive shop now. What are your plans for the future? How do you plan to use these films? First, we have a great location, so we are planning very much to utilize that. And as well, we have other connections and relations in the region, since Jeju is still a pretty small market, so we're gonna plan to use those. And once we've been grounded, we're planning to use some advertisements and commercials to increase our market share. Yeah, it's not easy to quickly become popular, especially since we have original customers already. So you have to start with those customers that you've had already and go on from that. It's not the product, but it's the adhesive that is the problem here. The tool that you used here must have been a scraper. Yeah, that's right. You have to use a squeegee. In the case of this film tint, if you use a glove to push it out, the trail is left, and especially you leave the scraping trails as well here. It's impossible not to use a scraper because you have to put it inside the boundaries, but you have to use it so that there's no marks left. In the case of metallized film tints, This is a common occurrence, especially on the sides. If you see in the middle, it comes out like this. It's always like this, but not on the top parts. But if you look in the middle, this means that when you lower the window to attach the film, you put it until here, and then it goes inside as you do it, as you can see in the video here. When you see these kinds of phenomena come out, it's really about how you're folding the film. You usually fold it and you put it in like this, but it shows that you folded it this way. I can't show you all the sides, but some people even take out the whole frame just to get rid of this kind of phenomenon. But there's no need to do that. What to do to not do this? You might have noticed, but first you have to put some tape here. Not just plastic, but tape. And then you remove the outer layer. Then you roll the film inwards so that there's a 90-degree angle here. If you fold it like this and you put it in a 90-degree angle here, that removes the possibility of it folding. When you're putting up the window and you spray solution inside, do you usually use like a slipping agent or soap, or what kind of solution? We usually use all of them. If you use a thick solution, the dust particles won't go down. So first, you have to use just regular water. You spray it all in there. That makes all the dust particles come out. But if there's any kind of bubbles, that makes the dust particles stick, especially when you see these folded parts in the film. To reduce dust particles inside, you have to use water all the time and keep spraying it. Then that reduces all the dust. There's no way to reduce the bubbles that form in the middle, even if you spray a lot. So there's always some dust inside. If you look at the installations back at headquarters, you'll see there's no dust at all, even in the sides, even when we don't take out the frame. So when you're doing the side doors, when you're spraying the second time, you can put in any kind of solution and then you put it in so that it slips. But in the first time when you're cleaning, you have to use water. That's very important and it requires a lot of practice. So you have to try it a lot of times. And when you're doing the front window, there's always some dust right under the rear view mirror or right in the view of the driver. And there's a reason for this. It comes from when you're unrolling the film. You have the windshield right here, and then you're unrolling the film. And when you're moving it a little bit to reach the rear view mirror, and you keep touching the rear view mirror, that's when the dust particles are coming inside. So you have to reduce the exposure to the rear view mirror. Don't let it touch the rear view mirror. And then when you're first cleaning, you have to clean the upper parts where the film might touch it, so that even if it does touch, even if the window film does touch the upper parts, there's no dust particle that comes in, and you tape all of the upper parts, and then you use water to drop all of the dust particles to the lower regions. Spray water and then use a scraper to clean it, and then spray water once more or twice just to clean it, and then that will reduce the possibility of any kind of dust particles. The film is this long. When you're unrolling this long film, there's risk that you touch the rear view mirror, or it might fold, or that might cause any kind of dust particles to go in. So we remove this completely and then tape it all up so there's no water that goes in. And then you're ready to install the window tint. Do you have soap? Just normal soap will do. This seems better. Yeah, sponge is always better. Do you have just normal water? This is just normal water? I always set it at 630 degrees Celsius. If I shrink too much of the corner, that causes all of the film to move towards the right, towards that corner. So I don't perfectly, but do just enough so it doesn't move anymore. And then we come to the other side and then we shrink. This car has not a lot of curve, so it's okay to do it when it's stuck here. But if there's a lot of curve here, remove any moisture, and then you have to shrink all of this part as well. That's much better. So for example, like this. You have to do it like this, slowly. Since the other side is holding on to the film well, when you come to the other side and you shrink, you can see that it's very taut. And this root part, you don't shrink this part. If you shrink the root parts of the film, you can see that it's spreading apart and becoming flat. This part has to be flat and flush with the window. If you don't do this well, then there becomes tunnels inside the film. And that's the beginning of all the other problems.